AVVA Talks, Inspiration for a Sustainable and Fulfilling Life. Hello and welcome to our Evolutionary Leaders podcast series dedicated to leaders, teams, and organizations that want to generate sustainable performance and progress, transform challenges into resources, and contribute to make the world a better place. In our today's conversation with our special guest Evija Vaščenko, we focus on some of the most important challenges that leadership teams face these days and how they can be overcome. Evija Vaščenko is an entrepreneur, executive and team coach, trainer with an impressive professional portfolio spanning business leadership, emotional intelligence development, coaching, mentoring, and biotechnology. She emphasizes the importance of pursuing work that aligns with one's passions and values. She believes in the power of building relationships and consistent action, stating that completing at least one task every day, whether personal or professional, can lead to significant progress over time. Her approach to challenges involves self-reflection, planning, and allowing oneself the grace to take a break and rest when needed. In this episode, we focus on how leadership teams can actually work as a team, what benefits this approach brings, and what helps leadership teams to create cohesion, cooperation, and overall sustainable performance for themselves and also for organizations. Just to make sure you are not missing out on important topics for you, make sure you subscribe to our channel and get notified when new episodes are released. Enjoy! Hello, Evija, and welcome to our conversation today.
Hello, Alina. Thank you for inviting.
I'm really happy that you accepted this invitation, and I appreciate your generosity to share some of your extraordinary insights with us. As I know that you have been an entrepreneur since you were 18 or so, am I right?
Yeah, you are.
And you have a tremendous experience in leadership, in entrepreneurship, in consulting, training. So you work on a daily basis with leaders, with teams. You train them, you facilitate their development, you sustain their and support their performance. And it's really an honor for us to have you here as our guest today.
Thank you, Alina. Thank
you. And to start, I would ask you, from all this extraordinary experience that you have with leadership and building performance, how do you think that leaders can also be part of a team or work as a team in management teams? Is this utopia or is this reality?
I would say it's real. It's happening, and but I should say that unfortunately I haven't seen such teams very often. In majority cases, leadership teams unfortunately are teams by name. Sometimes it sounds good to say we are the leadership team, but in reality, because I'm working with the teams more than 15 years already, and in reality, when I look at leadership teams, when I speak with them, ask questions to those people who are working with them below the leadership teams, I see that they are not real teams. There are a lot of things which are missing, which make them a team. And in those cases, which are quite rare, where I have seen true leadership teams which focus on one goal and which see themselves and work as a team supporting each other. It has been like very beneficial for company or organization which they have been leading, and it's completely different experience then.
Mm-hmm. What would be some of the things that you noticed that influence this cohesion and this cooperation within the leadership teams?
I think there are quite a few things. One and most important, it's actually putting leadership team as first, putting them being members as a leadership teams first, and only after that seeing themselves as functional leads, as heads of departments. And this belonging to leadership team and this common responsibility for reaching goals, trust to each other, willingness to cooperate, to share, to work together. It really brings those wonderful results, which then kind of spreads down all over the organization.
So also what happens in the leadership teams and how things are working there or not working, understand that also can replicate in the entire organization with their leaders teams as well, no?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. And I have worked with quite many leaders as a coach who have been seeing every meeting leadership team has as a battlefield. So they were preparing for those meetings as for the battle. And it means that I'm not looking forward to meeting my team members. I'm saying that I have to fight. I have to think how to show that my real team, kind of like my functional team, my department, it's better, it's very good, it's reaching their results. And if something is wrong, then the others are here to blame. And this, I would say, this culture of being separate, being heads of functions, heads of departments, it brings down to all organization also this culture of blaming others for things which doesn't happen, instead of like coming together as leadership team members, the real team members, and like discussing, okay, how can we do this? How can we solve that? How can we improve certain things? Let's look what we need to focus on all together, like to bring the better results. Unfortunately, very often immediately comes in like fight, discussion, like protecting their own, and it doesn't work out for the better good of organization.
Mm-hmm. Usually, how do you approach this leadership, this kind of leadership teams that you get into contact with and see that they are not functioning properly and they are just fighting and everybody wants to protect their own territory?
Mm. I would say, like, first, it's not always possible to see from the first sight. It's not like I'm coming in and meeting somebody from leadership team and immediately saying, okay, this is the real team, or no, they are not a team. It doesn't work that way. It's either I'm working with somebody from the leadership team individually, and then in conversations, it comes out like what challenges they are having in working, how they also usually share how the team functions, what happens in the meeting, how they cooperate. So it gives some impression. If I'm working on purpose, working with leadership team, helping them to become like a real team, if usually it starts like with the questions that there are some challenges we are having and we need to improve because we have more important goals coming our way and we have to reach. It's either a reorganization or some major mergers or challenges on the market. And it usually starts with diagnostic, with conversation, with and I would say call them interviews because usually they are 1 to 2 hour conversations with each leadership team member, asking each of them the same questions. And I prepare those questions. There are some templates I use, but still I prepare those for each separate leadership team, like separate set of questions. And then I have conversations with them, asking and trying to understand like what's happening, what's working, what's not working, what are the white spots probably where everybody thinks that somebody else is taking care. And in those conversations, this is a place where usually it comes out. So how they work together, how they cooperate, do they really cooperate or do they compete? And after those conversations, those interviews, I have a meeting with all leadership team together and share. So those are the findings. And very important is that each of those individual conversation, it's confidential. So it means that I'm not sharing who said what with nobody. And I'm just putting together all the information, observations. I'm double checking things in the next interviews if I have some, if something comes out. And then I'm having this common meeting with them and I'm setting it forward for them. Okay, this is what was shared. This is what majority of you share. This is some of you observing. And let's have a conversation. So how do you like this? How it works for you? Does it work for you at all? And what do you want to do with that? And then we have a conversation. So what should be the steps, how to work on that? I do have some best practices I can offer because there are certain things which might work for majority of teams, but at the same time, it very much depends on the team, on the situation, and first on their readiness to do it. Because not always leadership team members want to become like a real team. Not always they need it. And it also depends on what kind of organization it is, how it works, what are the situations, how the functions work. And sometimes the leadership team are really just a group of people which come together and discuss and share some updates. But sometimes they don't need to work like as a very cohesive leadership team.
So there's no perfect way of doing things.
I would say there is no one recipe. Like if you're looking for me saying, okay, this is a step number 1, number 2, number 3, and it's going to work for all teams. No, it's not.
So what I'm hearing is that there is a complex process that needs attention to how people are presenting themselves within the team and what they are also doing as own leaders, so as individual leaders.
Everything is involved there. And you said it very correctly. It's actually a process. Sometimes it's a complex, and sometimes it might be not so complex if every team member really wants to do it and are engaged and have there is buy-in for everybody because they see the better good which will come after they reach the stage of really working as a team. And usually it's team coaching which helps to do this journey. And for some teams, this journey can be shorter, like 3-4 months, because they already are on it in a way. They have noticed what doesn't work for them. They know that they want to work on certain things. And at the same time, for other teams who maybe just realize what doesn't work for them and that there are so many things they need and want to change, this journey might be also longer because it all really relates with change of behavior. And behavior change is not the one which comes fast and easy. And there always should be somebody in the team who kind of reminds them, okay, guys, let's look, is this how we agreed we are going to work? Or is it not? Like, we agreed that we are doing this way. Now, again, I'm observing that this is a thing which is happening. Like, should we change? Should we address, or should we change what we want to achieve? Or is it still valid? Okay, let's have a conversation. And like I love to say about team coaching, and this is definition we use very often also in training team coaches who are going to work with other teams. Like, team coaching is about helping team to have conversations they need to have. So very often this process is about assisting team to have all the conversations they need to have, because not always it's easy. Let's say it's actually, it's very often it's not easy, because people never know how others gonna react, what conversations might come out of it, how to not cross somebody's ego, like how to have this conversation in a productive way. And in this case, it's very often very beneficial if somebody from outside is there to facilitate those the most difficult conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also heard some opinions about whether a team, especially a leadership team, but also teams in general, are ready for a process, for a team coaching process. What do you think? Is there such a notion as readiness for team coaching, or it's just a notion that is floating in conversations in different ways?
I think there certainly is team's readiness or not readiness for coaching. And I have seen like quite often cases when some part of the team are ready and some part is not. And it means that there are certain maybe fears, maybe doubts, maybe unwillingness to be part of the process. And if just part of the team want to do it or agree to it, it's not going to work. So in my experience, when I'm starting to have conversations, like somebody from some organization approaches me, either leader of organization or HR or team leader, and we are starting to have conversation about team coaching. I would say only like 50% of cases, approximately, plus minus, it ends up being team coaching. And it's not about team readiness. It's about sometimes that the team is not a team and they don't need to be a team. But if we speak again about leadership teams, I would say in majority cases, it would be great if they would be teams, because it would make their own work much easier, and it would make the results they can achieve actually grand ones.
So if you were to give us one or two essentials of what to take from your experience in order to create better functional leadership teams, what would you say to us?
I think first thing, it's having conversation within a team, like do we want to be a team, do we need to be a team, and what benefits we see like from being a real team. And then looking at the things which are related to aligning goals, because very often leadership team members, they are also heads of different functions or departments, and they have the goals which are like either in form of KPIs or any other forms, like the goals they need to reach, and those goals are usually associated with functional leads or department leads. And for leadership team members, I would say it's very important to have like all the primary goals to be as a team goals for all organization, not for their function, even if they are functional leaders. So I would suggest to having this conversation about setting goals for them as a team, and also like looking at shared accountability of the results. That it's not CFO who is in charge if the costs need to be cut. It's not head of sales whose fault is that there are not enough revenues. No, it's about teamwork.
And who would be, or is there a special person that would need to introduce these kinds of conversations, or you encourage any member of the leadership team to get involved in initiation of these kinds?
Usually, like if it comes from internally from the team, it usually comes from the person for whom this is the biggest pain. The person who doesn't want to continue the way it is, maybe they have had different experience, like very often newcomers to the team who came from organizations where leadership teams have been like real teams. They are the ones who notice first like the differences and discrepancies, and they might voice it. In my experience, very often it's brought forward by CEO because they get, but it's not like I need a team coaching, I need a process, I need them to become a real team. No, it's more like in a form like I'm tired of them acting as kindergarten, like protecting their own toys or protecting their own functions and constantly fighting. I need them to work together with me and take this heaviness off my shoulders and work with me to reach the common goals of all company. It very often comes from CEO. Also, I have seen quite a few examples when HR director is very strong, then it comes from HR director, and HR director might be the one who comes forward and says, it cannot continue this way anymore because you are sending very different and confronting messages to the organization. So you need to look on the way how you cooperate as a leadership team and how you communicate and how you do all the things you do. And sometimes it's somebody external. Has conversation with one of team members and about some subject, and then it's like, okay, are you really doing or not doing this? Okay, maybe you should think about that.
Yeah, so there's no one way of approaching this.
No, it's life. It's happening for every team and every organization. It happens in their own way. Some point, it's like at some point, like apple falls down the tree on your head, and you kind of have insight and realization. Like I don't want to continue how it has been. Like I need something to change, and I want to see it differently. And like finally, I want my work to be easier. I don't want it to be like fight ground and just to like pull it to all directions.
Yeah. Thank you, Evija, for sharing all these very insightful experiences with us. And I hope we can see you also again in other conversations. to continue discussing about leadership, about teams, about how to develop leaders and teams and organizations sustainably. As what we support here is sustainable leadership and sustainable performance in both individual aspects and organizational. So I hope you also enjoyed being here with us today and hope to see you real soon.
Thank you, Alina. It has been a great experience for me to talk about all the things and how it works for leadership teams and answer your questions. Really enjoyed it, and thank you for having me here.
See you next time.
See you next time.
And that was our today's episode of our Evolutionary Leaders series. Let us know your opinion about the topic we touched and make sure you share it with the people that would most benefit from listening to it. To be sure you are not missing out on important topics for you, simply subscribe to our channel so that you can get notified when new episodes are released. Until next time, stay curious, open, committed, and creative in discovering new ways to enhance your performance sustainably, so that you enjoy more and more of who you are and what you get to do every day.